This is Ann McDaniels with Show Business Report, and today I'm very happy to introduce my great friend, Patrick Giraudi. Patrick comes from France. He was a former drummer. Tell me, what did your parents say to you when you started drumming?
Well, they say if you're good in school, we'll buy you a drum set.
There you go. Were you already good at electronics at that point?
Not yet.
Patrick got really good as a drummer, and he became professional at the age of 15. And when did you move to America to pursue higher film and television?
I always liked the U.S. and the movies, and so I always had my eyes on coming here, maybe, or at least wanted to be here.
Sure.
Part of the action. And when I turned about 27, then I made the move. It was 1987. I moved here, and I was a musician. I worked in the studio. I had my own studio with a friend, and we started in a garage like everybody else. And we expanded into a building, and from there I switched over movies because the technology that we have behind us, it was not as good as this, but I embraced it, and computers and direct-to-disc recording, digital world was very interesting for me. So I jumped onto that, and from there I became a dialogue editor, and then a music editor.
Amazing.
And then I started to be the music mixer in a post facility.
And Patrick has worked on films for David Lynch, Kevin Bacon. He's currently working on a movie with Jon Voight. Tell us about this project.
This movie is a small independent film with John, who is a great person. I've worked with John for many years now. This movie is called Orphan Horse, and it is a teardropper movie.
Okay. Were you crying while you were working on it, Patrick?
I got touched by it.
Tell us about the process of an actor coming in. We do what's called ADR, or audio digital recording. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, there are many meanings about ADR. It's automated dialogue replacement.
That.
But there's nothing automated about it. A lot of steps. The first one, obviously, is to lock picture.
Right.
Which is done not by me, but someone, a film editor. Then I get the audio elements, and I go through it, and it's all the production sound. So everything that was recorded on the set,
right,
I get. And then I go through and I clean up all these tracks, and I organize them and do the fades and everything. That's step one. Step two would be to cue for ADR. That means we need to look for technical problems, additional lines we want to put in the movie, and we recall the actors in the studio, and then they redo their lines. And you've done some.
I've done some, and we literally have to recreate a scene like ADR on a microphone, matching what you say in film and television. It gets very difficult, and sometimes it's a challenge. Like for myself, I speak very quickly, and then you have to loop that, and then Patrick has to work extra hard to make sure everything matches. Do you get a lot of actors who are either too quick or too slow?
Well, you have two kinds of actors. The one who can redo themselves perfectly. John is definitely one of those. And you have actors who cannot redo themselves, even if their life was depending on it.
Wow. Can we name any names?
No.
But Patrick has worked with many, many people.
Yeah.
Now, Patrick, everything in film and television is a grind. You really have to start from the bottom and go to the top. What was your biggest challenge in becoming as successful as you are today? Even moving from France to America would have been a challenge.
Oh, it was a challenge because I could not speak English at all. But to learn what I'm doing is, well, I learned by myself, and I learned by working with a company called Digital Sound and Picture. Back then, there were no school to learn this.
Right.
So you need to be in a studio. Well, doing the set, coming from post, doing the set is great because I can anticipate problems.
Sure.
And my dear friend Jim Wynorski, director of all the common monster movies like Cobra Gator and Pianaconda and Camel Spiders and so many others. He's the one who took me out of my studio and brought me on the set.
Great.
And he said, I'm going to give you a boom, a pole, and a cable, and that's how we're going to record sound. And
wow.
So there's no mixer and headphones. He said,
sure.
Bring your own.
Wow. So again, learning from the ground up, and someone
Yeah.
believed in you, and you skyrocketed from there.
Well, working with Jim is great.
Patrick had a dream. He was a great musician. He wanted to leave France and get into film and television in Los Angeles. Wasn't an easy thing to do. There weren't any schools, but he was self-made, self-taught. You can teach yourself on YouTube or any of these things
Yeah.
in the meantime. But again, being on the job, getting your feet wet. I'm sure you interned or probably volunteered to work for certain people for free in the beginning.
Well, I did, because the company I worked for starting 1991, I used to do my own work, punch in and then punch out and keep working,
Sure.
keep learning, and I would go there on the weekends
Yeah.
on my own time just to learn the patch bay. And because we didn't have all this, we still had to go analog.
Right.
So we had to learn the patch bays and the different arbor gears and everything. So that was my motivation, is I didn't want to be paid. I wanted to learn, because what you learn, you keep.
And Patrick, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Facebook under Patrick Giraudi. I have also a website, virtualmix.com, and it has all my links in there too, and my credits and pictures. And we have I take pictures of everybody who comes here. So
He does.
You're in
A chair with a bear,
celebrity chair,
correct?
Yes, yeah.
Which I love.
But many other people have been here, and there are so many pictures. So it's fun, and social media is great because it's part of the promotion of a film. It's part of everybody that comes here. I see actors, they are doing ADR, but they take pictures of themselves.
Right. It's very narcissistic, but we have to do that.
It's part of the game. Yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. And what can we watch for your upcoming projects, particularly the John Voight movie?
Well, Orphan Horse will be out eventually, probably next year. I don't know if it's going to be in movie theaters. I doubt it, but definitely on DVD.
Wonderful.
Because I do a lot of independent films,
Yes.
and they end up on DVD. Mainstream streaming companies like Hulu and Amazon,
Sure. Netflix.
some on Netflix and all that. So that's where the
Absolutely.
movies end up.
And it's a tearjerker. Patrick has
Yeah.
shed a tear or two while in his studio.
Don't tell anyone.
Not at all. And it's Patrick Giraudi, spelled Giraudi. Patrick, thank you so much.
My
Merci
pleasure.
beaucoup.
Dorian,
Good friend of mine, and look him up. Thank you so much.
love this girl.